Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark. Snark, we have a slightly different look this week.
I like it.
I like
We
it
should
too.
always get a trophy. We should always have a trophy. Now we get one.
Absolutely.
I like it. Laser trophy.
Thank you to Danny for the awesome background.
hmm
Those on the audio feed are probably going, what are they talking about? But you can check out the video on YouTube if you want to check that out. And Snark, we have a lot of matches to cover because we have two match
Oh
weeks
boy,
to cover.
there's a lot of matches to cover, and
There
both
is.
coming at extremely busy times for both of us. But I got to
Mhm.
watch a lot of these matches. Some of them I just kind of skipped through. There's one I have literally one line written down for it. We'll talk about that when we get there. But to start, Adelia, we have to go all the way back to Tuesday, April 2nd, Newcastle and Everton, and a huge letdown for Newcastle. These are points you
Yeah.
have to be picking up against an Everton squad just hasn't been good. And the way it happens, the way that they give up 2 extra points is kind of sad for them. They were in control most of the match. Isak scoring 15 minutes in. Both teams had already wasted pretty good chances. It was a real heads up play by Harvey Barnes to find him on the run. There was a nice little bit of skill there in the area. But of course, it's Everton, so there's also poor defending as well. And then Dan Burns maybe should have had one go in, but Isak is judged barely offside in the build-up.
Very marginal offside call.
It was close. And then Isak himself absolutely robbed by Vitaly Mikolenko. Yeah, Vitaly, the defender, Mikolenko, just stood on the line and took a ball on the head to stop Alexander Isak. That turns out to be costly that Isak couldn't find either side of Mikolenko's head
Mhm.
because for some reason Fabian gets to tackle Nay Bulldog Ashley Young in the box, and then
Yeah.
somehow it goes to VAR to step in.
I don't
A
know
nice
how
save.
this was not spotted. This was so obvious.
Referees are cowards. If they don't have to take the blame for it, then they won't. But ridiculous. Also, I watched
Yeah.
something about how referees are paid in the Premier League. How there's like some referees make twice as much as others. Those others that are
Oh,
terrible,
wow.
probably. Yeah, it's probably the new guys that come in that actually do the job well that make half as much. It's ridiculous. No wonder there's so much corruption. Anyway,
Yeah.
VAR steps in, penalties awarded, falls to Dom Calvert-Lewin. Dom Calvert-Lewin, turns out, hasn't scored for a while. And I'm talking, he has not
Yep.
scored a goal since October. Spent a lot of time on the bench too and stuff like that. But he's the one who's
Yep.
called in for the charity goal. I like to say it's usually the goal that helps the people use to try and get them going. It worked for Kai Havertz. It's worked for a couple other people in the league. Uh,
Mhm.
it did not work for Enzo Fernandez when they decided to give him the ball earlier against West Ham.
No.
But I'm not saying I won't say that. Anyways, so Castle, for them, 2 points would have been an extra 2 points would have been great. They still remain eighth, but Everton really needs everything they can get. They were 4 points clear of Luton in 16th spot. We'll talk about Everton more a little later on in the program. Actually, we're going to talk about every team twice, so there you go. But we have more to say about
Yeah.
Everton and what
Me
happened to
too.
them.
There's a little more to say
Uh,
about Everton this week.
yeah. Uh, Nottingham Forest played Fulham. Fulham has top 10 aspirations. Somehow, uh, Forest fighting back Luton to stay in the Premier League, and Forest decided, oh yeah, we're supposed to win at home, and they thrashed Fulham. They absolutely thrashed them. So a fantastic first half. Fulham controlled the ball, couldn't do a damn thing with it. Lots of side-to-side passing for Fulham. It's something because I watched a certain football team I know very well. Um, Callum Hudson-Odoi is the first one to score for Forest. 9 minutes in, Chris Wood scores from well out. 10 minutes later, Chris Wood having himself a nice little season, especially a nice little second
Yeah.
half of this season. He's played very well. Uh, yeah, I still don't know what Bernd Leno was doing on that play, why he was so far out of position, but whatever, it's fine. And then Morgan Gibbs
That
White.
is a phrase I have said many times. What is Bernd Leno doing? I still say that, and he's not even a member of Arsenal anymore. Like,
Yeah, it sounds like a children's book. What is Bernd Leno
yeah.
doing? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Morgan Gibbs White gets the third. Just 3 minutes into the first half, extras. Danilo is going to get one back for Fulham. He slashes to the net, whatever. He's early in the second half. That's all for Fulham, though. Toyson Adarabayo has in an Andreas Pereira corner. Fulham failed to move to the top 10. They're now 3 points for Forest, temporarily moving 3 points clear of Luton for safety. They're going to need to scramble. They put
Yeah.
themselves in a bad position. Nuno, the new coach bump, never happened. It's like
No, it didn't.
he's like a more northern Graham Potter. Anyways, on to the next match because I can't really focus on these matches that happened. Seemed like so long ago. It was exactly a week ago.
Yep.
Bournemouth, Palace. Bournemouth get the win. Palace, another team. What is? There's a lot of talent in
I
Palace.
I don't understand why Palace fired Roy Hodgson and replaced him if they weren't going to get any better, because they've gotten not any better at all.
Oh, don't you remember Roy Hodgson left on his own accord?
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He did not. Of course he didn't. It's Justin Kluivert scoring late. He takes those 3 points from Palace. Palace never seemed to get involved aside from that Eze goal that was ruled off by VAR. Mateta being offside in the lead up there. That one wasn't as close as the Isaac one is. Oh, yeah. Semenyo just too strong for David Ozo in goal. Nice pass across the grain. Finds Culvert in front. And the substitute finds his fifth goal of the season. Bournemouth now unbeaten in 5 with 4 wins. Adelia. Palace stay 14th at the time. Yeah, and just there's so many guys. Like you'd think that there's a lot of talent, especially up front. Maybe not in the back end, but there's a lot of talent up front. They should at least find goals. Like Palace should be a team that scores, but they
They
certainly
should
aren't.
be. No, they
You
are
know,
not.
team that has been scoring, like Burnley. They get again another surprising draw. But this time at the Turf Moor, they draw Wolves 1-1. It's a little too late for them, I guess. A little too late, but
Yeah.
it's another draw for a top 10 team. It's an evenly played match. The chances, I guess, Burnley probably had more chances. They had put 6 on net on Jose Sa. Darrell O'Shea played Jacob Brun-Larsen, who made no mistake in putting the top side back up 1-0, 37 minutes in. Ryan Aït-Nouri get it back before halftime. Ryan Aït-Nouri, he's a defender, and we keep talking about him. This is a guy that really moves forward. I really like this. I've been liking him more and more ever since Christmas time. He came back for Christmas or whatever, and I really like him. Anyways, he heads in a Pablo Sarabia free kick. It's the Burnley defending is just too loose. It's far too loose. So yeah, they get a disappointing finish, I guess, Wolves, but they didn't go out in the front foot. They just kind of sat back. Strange. Wolves, they're turning into the team that it's their Forrest Gumping it. You never know what you're going to get with Wolves. It
Yeah.
seems lately, but they're going to be safe. I guess
They are. They're safe.
they don't have anything to worry about. 3 poor effort Wolves in their last 4 matches. So yeah, Wolves. No, I think no one loses any sleep over how Wolverhampton's doing. Maybe the people there,
No.
I guess.
Yeah.
Not many other people. Anyways, poor Wolves. Anyways, West Ham, Spurs, and another 1-1 draw. It's Brendan Johnson getting the Spurs off to the front foot, and he's been playing well for them as of late as well. He deflects a Timo Werner pass in real tight against Fabianski, like real tight. He was basically beside him. Gets the visitors up just in the 5th minute, and then the Hammers captain tied things up 14 minutes later, heading in Jared Bowen's corner. No one else is going to score. I guess both chances. There's some good chances for both squads. Spurs again, just content to pass side to side, and they didn't have any real pressure for someone who they get, like Pascalu says, they can have this high line, they're going to press and stuff like that. They did none of this. They just sat back and let the game play out. West Ham did not look terrific, and as far as I know, David Moyes would continue coaching West Ham through the weekend. We'll see what happens.
Still continue. Keeping as his job for some reason. I thought this game would be better.
Yeah.
Than it was. But
and
it really was
a derby match
drag.
too. Man,
yeah.
It's like, where was there was no intensity.
There was no intensity in this game at all. It was very boring.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Speaking of boring, Brentford and Brighton both played.
Yeah,
no score. Brighton had 24 shots at net and 67% of the ball. Didn't do anything with it. Did nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. Bees, another team. All these players, how are they not scoring? How are they not scoring goals? Drives me loop. But again,
yeah,
I'm gonna sleep soundly tonight. Not worried about Brentford. They should be worried. They keep slipping back. Luton, a couple of wins for Luton. A couple of more wins. So we can see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. These next 6 matches going to be interesting. Anyways, what was interesting was Man City versus Villa, and it was supposed to be interesting. City just weren't interested in having a competitive match. They wanted to take 3 points from Villa. Villa, ever since they lost that game at home, ever since they lost their home winning streak or home unbeaten streak, they've looked like a different side, an untrustworthy side. It's Doku just staying on side. Gets through, like, again, it's just poor marking inside the box or whatever, and he scores. John Duran leveled it 20 minutes later, but from then it's Phil Foden. Phil Foden decided he was better. He decided he was better than everybody. I will say
this is. Let me say this first. This is one of those games where when you look at the lineups before the game, you're as an Arsenal fan, you're flashback to Unai Emery when he put out a lineup that had absolutely no chance of beating someone, and that's what this lineup was for Villa. They had absolutely no chance of beating City.
They were beating themselves. Like, honestly, that free kick for Foden, Zaniolo lines up on the end. Jumps when the ball struck, he jumps away from his teammates and turns. He creates a corridor for the ball. You have one. I'm sorry, buddy. You're getting paid a lot of money. Stand there and take a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Be a professional. Unbelievable. Anyways, he scores a couple more. He's not the only guy to get a hat trick. On that, I guess we'll say which week is it now? Match week 31. This part, he won't be the only one to get a hat trick, but he won't be the only young player to get a hat trick. Just Villa just never seemed prepared to compete, especially in the second half. Like City didn't even play Holling or De Bruyne, and Villa.
Yeah.
Like this should have been. This is a marquee matchup.
It should have been. I mean, Villa beat City earlier this year. Like, you would think that there would be at least some sort of fight and desire from them, and I didn't get that at all from them in this matchup.
No. Let's talk about more. Not having much fight or desire. Arsenal won.
Yeah.
2-0.
Arsenal won.
3-0.
Yeah, no, 2-0. 2-0. You're right. This one was 2-0.
Sorry, 3-0. Absolutely.
We were the first team to keep Luton from scoring in like 18 weeks or something like that, which is insane.
It was an 18 match goal streak they had. Snapped.
It's
Yeah,
insane
there
for
was.
a team that's doing as poorly as Luton has been this year, for them to have had a goal in that many consecutive games is actually kind of impressive.
Yep. The first goal, Zinchenko just decided that Pele Ruda Gampanzo doesn't deserve the ball anymore. So he just took it.
Yeah,
Pass
took
to
it.
Havertz. Gets it over to Odegaard and scores the second just before halftime. Two players that don't get much playing, and one player that doesn't even play for them involved in this goal. Emil Smith Rowe passing to from the goal touch line, passes that to Reese Nelson. But Daki Hashioka, whose name I've mentioned now 2 weeks in a row for maybe not the best reasons, deflects it into his own
Mhm.
goal. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just happy to Arsenal just happy to sit back after. Uh, and I was going to talk about this in the next match as well. And you guys are just learning such a valuable lesson from last year. You guys have the
Mhm.
goals. You probably could score 6 or 7 if you wanted to against these guys.
Yeah, we
Good
probably could have.
good offense is always a good is always the best defense, I would say. But you guys are learning to sit back, absorb pressure. It was especially evident against City. That match you had against City on the road at the Etihad. It was just a masterwork for doing that or whatever, just how to absorb it without being in danger and stuff like that. So it's a huge difference from last year. Yeah, I guess I should talk about. I was messaging you while we were watching the game or whatever. Uh, why is Luke not getting along with each other?
I have no
Uh,
idea what any of that was about. That was very strange, but they all seem to be very pissed off with one another.
and I don't think there's even been a goal yet. It's well, not for when Kaminsky and Morris are going at it,
Yeah,
and it's because of a set piece or something like that. Why is Carlton Morris mad at his goalkeeper, or why would he even be talking back? Just do what the goalkeeper
I
says.
don't know.
You're a striker.
Yeah.
You don't get to boss around the goalkeeper by any means. Now, Jordan Clark looked a little unhappy a little later on too. It's because he took a Alfie Dowdy cross to the side of the head. So when you're not
He
expecting
did.
that or whatever, I guess that could be a little smart. That could
Yeah.
smart a little bit. Yeah. Luton only got the one shot on that. So yeah, it was just a total. They just broke them down, sat back, saved some
Yeah.
energy for the weekend because they were going to need it. They're uh, yeah, they were Luton now just 3 back of Forest still. 7 goals in shot differential, which isn't great. Arsenal moves back up top, albeit temporarily, because Liverpool had to play, and Liverpool had to play at home Sheffield
Yep.
United. Sheffield United, one of the toughest teams in the league to beat. So it is very to even get a draw,
Mhm.
magnificent accomplishment. If you believe that, I got a bridge for you. Sell to you cheap. Now, yeah, they just got Liverpool just got 3 free points. Uh, a bit of a weird game, anyways, for a little bit. Uh, Darwin Nunez gets the first goal. I said that Evo Gerbich did his best Aaron Ramsdale imitation on this, and he's not the only one to do that this week. I don't get it. He just decides to put his clearance attempt by not looking. Nunez just sticks his leg out, boom, hits him, goes in the net. Uh,
Yeah.
they play football differently in Bosnia. That's what I've heard.
I
I guess
guess. I guess.
I guess he's forgotten that people want to get the ball all the time. Anyways, they keep the lead through the half, but then they make their own mistake in the second half. Follow it across in the air. Gustav Hammer puts a head to it. It goes off Connor Bradley and in the net for the own goal. It's not what the folks at Anfield were expecting. They went a little bit quiet there for 10 minutes or something like that. So in the 76 minutes, more poor clearing from Sheffield, at least to Alexis McAllister. absolutely hammering home a shot from inside the D. The lead's restored, and for good measure, Cody Gakpo heads in and Andy Robertson cross. Clock strike as the clock strikes 90. Liverpool go back up top, and poor Sheffield, bottom of the table. They're just watching the sand fall and waiting for some guests to come by on the weekend. I promise I won't use the most horrible swears for that game. Actually, I probably won't. I probably will use some pretty rad words. Okay, so we're gonna move. We're gonna move on. Palace, they get to play Man City. Lucky them.
Mhm.
Moved on to the weekend. Uh, and a bit of a shocking start on this one. Adam Wharton playing a perfect ball through to JP Mateta. At midfield, City's back line, for some reason, was all the way up. And just way
Yeah.
too far forward. Mateta had all kinds of time and space. Easily beats Stefan Ortega. Did you think it's weird that Ederson's still not back?
I do think it's strange.
What's happening there? I guess I don't know because it was his thigh. I remember when he went down on that just before the penalty where he was holding his thigh. So I don't know if
Yeah.
there's a tear or what, but yeah, he's a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? It's go
Yeah.
side to side. I don't get it. Anyways, that was just after 4 minutes over at old Selhurst Park. But after that, orders resumed. Uh, De Bruyne goes top corner from the top of the box. Just 13 minutes, so just 9 minutes later, Rico Lewis gets one just as the second half started. Like just, I think in the next first 40 seconds or so, Holland
Mhm.
scores in the 68th. De Bruyne gets his brace 2 minutes later in the 70th. And Edward will get one back for Palace, but it's too late. And it's 4-2. City is keeping pace with those Gunners and those Liverpudlians. And Palace is steadily moving back to that pack at the bottom. I think they're at 29 points now. So there's a few teams pooling in here and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting, especially after. Well, we'll talk about Everton right now. Everton get a win, an important win. Of course, it's just against Burnley. You know, it's supposed to be 3 points, but turns out this is their first win since defeating Burnley. So they're good at defeating Burnley. Not
Yeah.
many other. That was 13 matches. That was 13 matches ago. They've gone 13 matches without a
Yeah.
win.
That's
And there's,
crazy.
yeah, it's just another example. Again, I said before, Gervich won't be the only one this week. Ariane Mir puts his clearance up to Calvert Lewin and into his own net. So to see it once a year is strange, and I could feel for Aaron Ramsdale. I was like, okay, oh, that's a tough one. This doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
To have it happen twice in the same match week
In a
is
week.
bananas.
Crazy.
It's bananas. Yeah, but I will say this: Muir's played really well. Other than that little gaff, he did play really well. Uh,
Yeah, he
Darrell
did.
O'Shea, the latest man to get sent off for Burnley. He just crashes into Dwight McNeil. He did save that
Terrible,
break.
terrible
Yeah,
tackle.
he did save a break, but he's going to miss some games for it. Darrell O'Shea,
Yep.
maybe. Uh, like when Burnley goes down, maybe he's the guy that other clubs look at. But then they see this on his CV and they maybe he needs another year at Burnley.
Yeah.
Everton went to 4 clear of Luton and Saint. They went there. Burnley should be scouting the championship or whatever right now, but I say went 4 points because they are now 2 points clear.
Mhm.
Because once again, the PGMOL or whoever it is have decided, I guess the Premier League, I should say, playing the PGMOL. I guess this can't be their fault. The Premier League has decided to punish Everton once again for financial fair play reasons. They lost too much money again in the year. This time they said 22-23. Of course, even though they've announced a bunch of mitigating factors towards it, such as the cost of their stadium, Russia's invasion Ukraine. There's a few reasons, stuff like that. Actually, it meant they took those factors into consideration and it went from like 5 points to 4 points to 3 points. Then they settled on 2 points. Everton, of course, still not happy that they have to once again give up points for financial fair play reasons. They
Yeah.
are contesting this. They are contesting this. So we'll see. Last time it worked out in their favor. I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get anywhere
I
with
don't
this
think they're gonna
time.
get. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
either.
and I think they're just going to end up pissing these guys off more. It's like maybe we have to dig through the books and then can't wait for 23, 24 if they're still around. If they're still around, because there is a chance now, especially the way they've been playing lately, and they just don't seem to score besides one. Well, and even that one was a fluke, wasn't it? They just don't seem
Yeah.
to score.
Even if they get relegated, I think the 23-24 books would be a problem for them because aren't they going after like Leicester or Leeds now down in the Championship, the Premier League?
Yeah. Yep, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble, but we'll see if they can hold on to a spot. Again, an interesting 6 weeks for Everton. An interesting 6 weeks for a bunch of teams at the bottom as well. That
Yeah.
Luton had played. Luton wins against Bournemouth, a team
Mhm.
that had been playing quite well, and they
They had been,
absolutely
yeah.
need results like this to end up sticking around. Yeah, it's a late comeback for Luton. Uh, Marcus Tavernier put the Cherries ahead in the 52nd minute after Luke Berry was dispossessed just outside the area. Jordan Clark pounces and puts it in behind Neto, leveling it at 73rd. And as the clock strikes 90, angry Carlton Morris puts a smile on his own face. He breaks free of his markers and gets his boot to a real nice cross from Collie Woodrow. Man, all these
That's a
players that I
name.
don't think I've never said before or whatever. It's happy to read them off here. They take the 3 points. They richly deserved. Like Luton was the better squad by far. And
Mhm.
If Luton can't stay up, how many offers are they going to get for Carlton Morris?
A few, I think.
Yeah, Luton outchanced Bournemouth 19-8, and now put 9 on target. They beat them on target 9-1 or something like that. So, yeah, Luton bouncing back, realizing it's now or never for these guys.
Yeah.
And then yet another disappointing performance. Villa managing only a draw against Brentford, but these two really went at each other. It was a pretty fun match to watch.
This was a great game to watch.
Yeah, Brentford absolutely desperate for results as they keep sliding towards the bottom. Ollie Watkins is fit again. He gets into the starting 11. Heads in a brilliant John McGinn cross to open the scoring. Morgan Rogers scores for them. He gets the second for Villa just as the second half started. It's a nice bit of skill in the box to get space and a really well played shot. It's his first Villa goal, and again, a name that we've been mentioning again 3 or 4 times, or 3 or 4 times over the last 3 or 4 weeks. The Bees are going to go on a little run though. Zanka gets the first, a name I've missed saying. Brian Mbumo with the second, just 90 seconds later. Then Yon Whistle gets Brentford the lead in the 68th, and Villa's back line just disappeared. They just fell to pieces, and we noticed that against the City as well. So yeah, Emery has work to do with his D. But 10 minutes ago, Ollie Watkins is going to head in a Leon Bailey cross. I think it got deflected or whatever. But he gets it between two defenders. Mark Flecken flubs this one. So
Mhm.
Villa just gets a point. Now they're in danger. Now they can get caught by Spurs for fourth. And they're just 3 up with a less goal differential. Spurs have that game in hand, but Brentford now only 4 points up on Luton, and they're in danger as well, especially over recent form. But they scored. They scored 3 goals this week, so there's
Yeah.
something. A little bit of hope, I guess, maybe for Brentford. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Again, a team that if they can't make it, they're going to be financially successful. I forgot to mention, like Brighton, I think set a record for earning money in a calendar year or
Yeah.
something like
I
that.
saw
So
that.
selling everybody. I know a bunch of jerks that gave him like 114 million for a goddamn midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, uh, let's see. Fulham and Newcastle. Did I even talk about that game? I didn't. You know what? I didn't
I
even
don't
talk
think
about
so.
that game. Okay, let's talk. I'm gonna go back because I'm gonna know. You know what? I'm gonna do the two games back to back. I'm gonna do the two Chelsea
Okay.
matches back to back. Fulham and Newcastle, because I just wrote down on the thing for no notes for either match. So yeah, Fulham, Newcastle. Fulham created a bunch of chances. They just didn't produce, and they're at home, so yeah, no excuses for them. The first half, especially, they were all over. It was Bruno
Mm-hmm.
Guimaraes making them pay for it in the 80th minute, mostly against the run of play from the whole match. Goal coming soon after Fabian Schär had a goal just called off because Danberg fouled Calvin Bassey to create the space, and he absolutely hammered him. So
Yeah, he did.
yeah. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. At first, I was like, where's like I kept looking for it to be offside. It's like, no, he just crushed this guy in front just to get room for the shot to get through. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
got it. So fine. Wolves took on West Ham at the Molyneux, and another loss for Wolves. Guess what? David Moyes is still employed by West Ham, guides them to another win. It's their first win in their last 5 games. They came from behind to do it. It was Ryan at Nurib getting taken down again. We're saying his name. He gets taken down in the box by Emerson. Penalty awarded. It's Pablo Sarabia scoring from the spot. 33 minutes in. Takes
Mm-hmm.
its last 73rd. Max Kilman, the captain, plays a handball in the area. Pretty blatant handball. Penalty
Yep.
awarded. And guess who gets it? Lucas Paqueta. I guess it's his time for charity. Uh, Somehow he's still allowed to play. Anyways,
I
he
cannot believe he's still playing.
yeah,
I say it
uh,
every week, but I cannot believe he's still playing.
yeah. He puts it in the exact same spot as Sarabia did too. That was weird. It's 1-0, and then 10 minutes later, Adelia, it turns out James Ward-Prowse is good at set pieces
Mm-hmm.
and maybe the best corner kick of the year. Just finds the bend, finds the curve, an unstoppable ball, finds its way in. Hammers go up late, 2-1. Now, it looks like Kilman ties the game in the 99th minute. 9 minutes into extra time. The Monu's going nuts. But Tawanda Chuk, oh, I always forget how to pronounce his name. Charea? I think that's it. Makes a slight contact with Fabianski before the ball gets there and is judged offside for it. He doesn't touch him, but because he had made slight contact with the keeper, they judged him offside. So, yeah, Wolves lose, and what a way to lose.
Yeah.
The referees just have never done Wolves any favors this year.
No.
From the first
No.
game to now, they just seem to get it. I wonder if they'll be finding more former referees to go work for Wolverhampton. We'll see what happens. Maybe Clattenburg can talk to his buddies or something like that. Like they're paying you
Yeah.
money to do nothing around here. Anyways,
Both are.
I'm going to talk about the two Chelsea matches in a row. So maybe I'll talk about them first. I'll talk about them first. I won't talk about the Brighton game. Okay, the Man U game. Uh, I think Chelsea might be the worst defensive team in football. This
They're
is
pretty
coming
bad.
from this. How do they keep? How are they so leaky for goals? Never mind that we score goals. United's going to prove in a match we're going to talk about in a bit that like when it comes inside their box, they take way too many chances physically. So we knew that something was going to happen. And why was Bello still on the pitch for those guys? Like
I don't
all
know.
game, like he should have had at least 2 yellow cards. He probably had 3 yellow cards
Yeah.
offenses in that game, but they kept him in. Ten Hag kept him in the entire game. He kept playing with fire. Of course, it was going to happen that he takes somebody down in the last, in the 8th minute or whatever it was of extra time. And of course, Cole Palmer is going to set up the score. And of course, Cole Palmer is going to have happen what happened at the end because it was chaos. The bridge was chaos. That wasn't a football match. That was chaos. That was 100 minutes of anarchy. There was nothing remotely skilled about this match at all. Like if like you showed me the one guy, the Man U fan, who or reactor was going crazy. And I don't want to do this anymore. Who was it? Mark? What was it? Mark? I can't remember his name. Anyways, I don't want to do it anymore. Talking about how United were so much better than Chelsea in this game. No, they weren't. They were terrible. They were awful. Chelsea was awful. You guys were just more awful at the wrong time. Was there a worse play than Caicedo just putting the ball over into
No.
nothing? Into nothing. What was he trying? What was he trying to do? Either pass back or go forward. There was no one pressuring him. He was under no pressure and just a soft little pass. And then the little jog he does afterwards.
Yeah.
Why was he the last guy back there? Why was our front line so far forward? None of this made any sense. And also, that same guy was complaining about how when Kukurea gets taken down the box, how that's not a penalty. It's like what? Like he goes knee, he drives his knee into his knee. I could see maybe if you said like it was shoulder first, it was a shoulder check or something like that. That's not a penalty. I still say it's a penalty, but no, he wouldn't need a knee. Like what do you want from these guys? Um, but defensively, how does Chelsea just absorb let all these guys in? Like when is the lead ever safe for Chelsea? We had to score in the 100th minute. That's the only way we're gonna win. The only way we're gonna win is if we score the last goal and we don't give them any more chances. And then we're gonna I'll just move right into Sheffield United. We go to Sheffield United. Uh, the worst team we said on this program to ever play in the English Premier League.
Mhm.
Like certainly since we started the show, I will say there's a good story for saying they're just the worst ever. You guys go in there, you score 6 goals.
Mhm.
Newcastle, they go in there, you score 8 goals. We score 1 goal and we sit back. We scored 1 goal and it
Yeah,
came
I didn't
early.
get that.
Thiago Silva finally gets a chance to play again. Nice to see, old man. And how does he get all that space? Like it's a corner. We're not great at it. Everyone knows this. Conor Gallagher puts it in. All of a sudden, there's nobody around Thiago Silva. I'm just going to go to this area. The ball comes to him. It's a goal. And after that, we just get folded in. We just keep sitting back. At one point, and now mind you, Sheffield United is the worst team in Premier League history. We
Mhm.
went 34 minutes without a shot on net on these guys. 34 minutes. The only plays 90. On third of the game, we didn't have a shot. We didn't try. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to know that no lead is ever safe. Is it also? Is it just a coincidence that mere seconds after Benoit Badia Shields comes on, we got scored on for the tying goal late?
No.
It is not. It is very much okay. We get it. I when we were talking about we were watching the Chelsea versus Man U match. I asked you, is Disasi Badiashile the worst central midfield pairing or central defense pairing you've ever seen? And I don't think you can say you've seen a worse one. And I was just saying,
No, they're pretty bad.
yeah, you guys look terrific down the middle, and we're just porous. And our goalkeeping, all of a sudden, Petrovic was terrible. He was terrible. With the first goal, he comes off the post like he's playing the pass. He just play the ball. Like why are you leaning away from your own post? It just everything seems to be a mess. Everything seems to be a mess. We're worried about bringing in all these kids. You're worried about maturity and stuff like that. They're not worried at all about just fundamental, basic football. How to defend. Games are supposed to be low scoring, And then I also hear from pundits and stuff like that. You're down. You get 2 goals. You're up 2-1. You're up late. Why would anybody like Chelsea bring in defenders and not bring in attackers and go for more? Why aren't we going for more? What happened to this club? We were absolute murderers. We didn't care about anybody. We get as many goals as you
Yeah.
can. Now we've just gone soft. All these Americans coming in with their fancy ties and their suit jackets and stuff like that, having little parties in the owner's box. All these optics they have. By the way, none of that is their money. They're an
Yeah.
investment club firm. It's like it's not their money that they're spending. Anyways, uh, they don't love football. You
No.
know, you need somebody that loves football to run your club. You're bringing in all these guys. You have this idea. They're from Hollywood. They have a story they want to tell. With Chelsea Football Club, you want to tell a story? Go buy Pompey. You know, Portsmouth probably needs somebody. You saw
Yeah.
Rex do it with Wrexham. Go do it with somebody else. Go do, I don't know, if you want someone from the championship, go like for Stoke, something like that. This is Chelsea Football
Nah.
Club. Yeah, there's an echelon. There's an echelon. And it took fucking Chelsea forever to get there. And it's going to get ruined in 2 years by a couple of jerks hiring Spurs managers, hiring mid-level brains to make us a
Yeah.
mid-level club. It's a goddamn shame, and I'm glad I didn't use the worst players that were in my head. I'm gonna buy
I'm
myself
glad you didn't either.
I'm gonna grab myself a slice of birthday cake this weekend for it because I didn't have to wash my mouth out with soap tonight. All right. Anyways, rant over. Chelsea defensively, again, Posh saying like, he's got to get his players. How are you gonna get players? How are you guys getting
Yeah.
players? Like,
Yeah.
like they're saying, like they're hesitant to sell Reece James. It's like, why? You're gonna miss those 2 games of friggin' year that he plays for you? He plays 2 games. Wesley Fofana, did he play once? Did he play 45 minutes? How about Lavia plays 33 minutes? Maybe just get a better doctor. He quit. You
Yeah.
guys got somebody else in there? Like, unbelievable. This is unbelievable what's happening with this club. Bananas. I say you have John Terry, put him up there. He's either the manager or whatever, but you have to give John Terry your wife's phone number. That should be that should be the punishment. You guys want to keep yourselves even or whatever, you guys got to win to keep John Terry away from your wife or your girlfriend. Anyways, that's it. Now I'm done. Let's talk about good news for yous.
Yeah.
Adelia, uh,
Yeah.
you guys got to go to the South Coast this weekend.
We did.
Uh, yeah, and turns out you guys did pretty good. Uh,
We did.
there's a new team, we'll say temporarily, at the top of the table because Arsenal wins 3-0. You guys absolutely controlled them again for 90 minutes. You get your first goal from the spot too. I just wanted to talk about this and Gabby Jesus. Do I think it was a foul? Yes. Do I think he should have been yellow carded for his friggin' ridiculous antics
He
with that
he
heel
he did
with the
make the
heel
most out
kick?
of that
With
contact,
the
yeah.
heel kick. Are you
He
kidding
he
me?
did very much make the most out of that. But yes, it was a foul, it was a penalty, but yes, he did make the most out of that,
Are
display
you surprised
after
they
he
didn't give
got
him the
kicked.
spot? Are you surprised they didn't give him the spot?
I'm a little not surprised because he just hasn't been able to score goals this year at the rate that he did last year. Plus, he said in press that he hasn't played without pain in a while, so I just wonder if they just didn't want him to hurt something doing a penalty.
Yeah, and like Chelsea, you guys got a kid over there that's pretty good from the spot as well. And you got Saka stepping up. He scores his 14th just of the Premier League season. That's very good. Then you get two former Chelsea guys linking up for a goal. Adelia.
Mm-hmm.
It's not often I thought I'd say Jorginho to Kai Havertz score for Arsenal, but there you go. It's 62 minutes in, and then the return. It's the what is it called? The Wayward Son returns. Leandro
Yep.
Trossard back on the South Coast, sprung in alone by Havertz, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, I don't think that he misses being at Brighton.
I don't know.
I mean, he didn't overtly celebrate, but he didn't not celebrate either.
I think he was happy. He was happy.
Yeah.
Again, no tears for Brighton. They set a record amount for money taken in by a Premier League club this year. So, this is how you do it by selling guys like Leo Trossard, who's going to make you pay for that. But again, Brighton in no real danger ever this year of ever going down. Maybe in danger of losing their coach in the off season. We'll see how it goes. I don't think he's
Yeah.
going to be. I don't think he'll be going to Chelsea and stuff like that. I've heard that ridiculous rumor too many
I don't think
times.
he's going to Liverpool either.
And I don't think he's going to Liverpool either. If anywhere, he'd probably be going to see what's happening in Spain, possibly Italy, maybe, but Germany could also be a good chance. Anyways, let's move on. Spurs and Forest first. Only 2 games left to go. We're doing okay. We're doing okay here, Adelia. Gosh darn it.
We are. We're doing pretty
Yeah,
good, actually.
yeah. Forest heading over to the North London cesspool. Now they just ahead of Luton on goal differential to stay up. Now Spurs have a chance to leapfrog Villa on goal differential as well and get into a Champions League spot. Of course, they also still have that game in hand, so don't forget that. Forest, don't help themselves in this match. 4 minutes after Murillo just misses from 80 yards. Another keeper error. Vicario way out of position. And when they say just misses, he misses by this much from 80 yards out, from about
Yeah.
20 yards deep into his own half. It was a pretty remarkable kick to even get there, never mind how accurate it actually kind of looked. But
Well played on the effort. Well played on the
yeah,
effort.
but then 4 minutes after that, Timo Werner puts it into the box, and Murillo sticks out his foot for some reason, and it deflects into his own net. So there you go,
Yep.
all the
That's the
all
way
the
it goes.
all the positive story about Murillo and his chance down the tubes. Yeah, Chris Wood gets that one back again, another Chris Wood goal. Anthony Elanga's pass is partially blocked by Christian Romero, and then it slows the ball down weirdly, kind of settles the ball down for him and stuff like that. And he's able to pick a spot. He's able to nutmeg Pedro Porro, I believe, or whatever, and put it past
Mhm.
Vicaria for lead. Chris Wood is also going to hit a post. And when I say, oh, he's going to hit a post or whatever, sometimes it happens. He hit a post and he had a wide open net to aim for. And he
Yeah.
hit the hell out of it. And he
Yep.
still is the post. And it may have gone 25 yards off the post down the pitch. So it
I think so.
was phenomenal. Um, just before halftime, I don't know if you saw any of this. James Madison, this is kind of tied up with Ryan Yates near the box, near the Forest net. So I don't know what Yates is saying to him, but Madison decides to punch him in the breadbasket, like a little rabbit punching the breadbasket. Drops him because it's soccer,
Mhm.
anything like that, they're going to drop. No call on the pitch, no call
Nope.
from VAR, who is
Nope.
definitely allowed to because it's a red card offense. They just say, "Oh, boys being boys."
Yeah. That,
Ridiculous.
that's absurd. He
Yeah.
should have been red carded.
This is it's it's nuts. How do you defend yourselves after that? How do you say, well, if this if A and the if A and is B and what doesn't make any sense. Anyways, second half starts. Mickey Van de Ven absolutely knocks the paint off the ball for Spurs. Smashes it into the top corner. He's just inside the box when he does it in the 52nd minute. Then Pedro Porro nutmegged Pedro Porro. I guess the insurance marker 6 minutes later. Forest is up now only by 4 goals on Luton. Luton is now tied on points. There's a 4-goal differential, like I said. Spurs now overtake Villa. Spurs in a Champions League position with a game in
We
hand.
see it. We hate to see it.
This is the worst.
Their game in hand is against City, though, so
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
not
And
counting on them to get a result in that game.
we're going to talk about United and Liverpool now. When we're done that, I'll just go through quickly the remaining fixtures for the top three. All right, and
Okay.
so this is Klopp's last match versus Liverpool's age-old rivals. They now need a win to regain top spot from Arsenal. And it's United getting off to a fast start. Garnacho scores just a minute in, but he was just offside. And again, he was just offside. I think Liverpool caught napping to start the game. United actually started out on the front foot, so good for them. But it amounted to nothing because it's actually Luis Diaz gets the first one that counts. That little spin kick he does off of Van Dijk's little headed pass or whatever. Someone tried saying it's a
Mhm.
scissor kick and stuff like that. It's like, did his foot ever leave the ground? I don't think it
I don't
did.
know. I
I
don't
think
think
it
it was
just
a scissor kick.
yeah. They keep that lead into halftime, mostly thanks to Andre Onana, who played really well for United in the first half to keep them in it. Now, 4 minutes into the second half, a little bit of a disaster for Liverpool, and you gotta love to see it. Jarell Quansah does a little weak pass, a little Caicedo-esque weak pass to Virgil van Dijk just before midfield. It's taken by Bruno Fernandes. For some reason, Kiwi Kelleher is way out of his net, well past the D. I don't know what he was thinking. If he was thinking he was like a central midfielder or something like that, he was way out. Anyways, so from about 55 yards out, Bruno Fernandes has the touch on this one, puts it in perfectly to level everything. And then in the 67th minute, something a little special from Kobe Mainu. He takes Aaron Wan-Bissaka's pass just inside the box, does a little spin, and then he curls it through two defenders around the keeper into the
Yep.
top corner of the net. Absolutely lovely goal. It turns out, like, read up some stuff about him. He's the first 18-year-old Premier League player to score against Liverpool since someone we both enjoy. Adelia, any guesses?
I don't know.
Cesc Fabregas was the last 18-year-old to score against Liverpool.
I was gonna say I don't think it's anybody of this era.
It's close to this area. He played a long time.
Close. He
He's
did.
also he's also the youngest ever United scorer against Liverpool. You think of that rivalry, and you think of how old Wayne Rooney was when he started. 16 years old, I believe,
Yeah.
when he started with the senior club there. So yeah, it's 2-1 United, and you know that United is going to buckle down defensively and not do anything foolish. And oh wait, Aaron Wan-Bissaka
Oh god,
decides
I was so mad at this kid when he did this.
decides to lunge for the ball at Harvey Elliott's feet. Now, I'll say Harvey Elliott passed the ball first, and
He
Harvey
did.
Elliott also took a step towards him, an extra step,
He
while he was
did.
already down on the ground. But I do agree, it is a foul. It was a stupid challenge and horrible. It looked terrible, and I don't blame anyone, even you know he who must not be named, Anthony Taylor, for calling it. Even though he's from the Manchester area, everybody, but supposedly not a
Mhm.
fan. Supposedly not a fan. Anyways, whatever. I guess that proved he isn't a fan because he called the penalty against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course it's going to be Mo Salah they put in that spot. He scores, but no epic meltdown except for one thing. Maybe Casemiro shouldn't have finished this game. I don't know if you saw that, but 7 minutes into extra time, he slides in. I think it was it to Diaz. I think it may have been to Luis
I
Diaz.
think so.
Spikes up above the ankle
I
in the
can't
shin.
believe this was not a red card.
How was it just a yellow? And they didn't make him look at it. They didn't make him look at it.
Yeah.
They carded
I
him. Why didn't they make him look at it? It's like, you sure you just want to go yellow?
That was terrible.
Casemiro. Remember when he would never get carded? He was
Yeah.
playing in Spain. Remember that? Oh yeah, he played for the team
I
that
do
doesn't get
remember
cards.
that. Yep.
Anyways, uh, for Liverpool, Uh-oh. Danger. They miss out on two very vital points. They no longer control their own destiny,
No.
Adelia. There's another team that they're tied with that has a 9 goal differential on them. The top of the league, Arsenal,
Yeah.
now in control of their own destiny. 6 games left. No pressure, guys. No pressure.
No pressure.
No
I will
pressure at all.
say that like everybody's like, oh, we have to go after both the Premier League and the Champions League with the same amount of gusto or whatever. No, we don't. No, we
Take one.
absolutely do not. I do not care about Bayern Munich to and this Champions League tie. Lose it. I would rather the Premier League.
Yeah,
And I know that we still have a lot of really tough fixtures ahead. Our penultimate game of the season is at United. So, like, we still have to play Spurs. There's some games that are not going to be easy for Arsenal. But
I
like,
thought
screw the
the
Champions
Man U
League.
game was last. I thought the Man U game was last, but yeah,
No, no, it's not last. It's the second to last.
yeah. See, Liverpool has Palace, Fulham, West Ham. You got Spurs, Villa, Wolves. Uh, a favorable, I would say, schedule for them. Was
Yeah.
Arsenal got Villa, Wolves, Chelsea. You shouldn't have any problems with that. Against Spurs, Bournemouth, Man U. City is the one where they've got the softest schedule. Luton,
Yeah.
Brighton, Forest, Wolves, Fulham, and then they got that match against Spurs that has to be confirmed still too. And that'll all
Yeah.
depend on what they're doing for the FA Cup.
FA
So they have
Cup,
to play
yeah.
for well, they have the FA Cup, they've got Champions League, they got everything still. So you figure they
Yeah,
get
and, like,
tired
let
by
me let
now.
me say this, let me say this, if it is Arsenal versus Man City in the semifinals of the Champions League for some reason, I'm gonna be so mad because that will end up costing us the Premier League because, everybody's gonna wanna beat City in the Champions League semifinal if that happens, and I'm gonna be like, "But I want the Premier League."
Yep. 20 something years, 21 years now, is that it?
20
20
20
years.
years. 20 years, it's 20 years exactly since the Invincibles.
That's a
That's the last time we won.
long time. That's a long
Yeah,
time.
long time.
It's a long time. Anyways, okay.
Long time.
That we did it. We were finished, and we're gonna try and wrap this up so it's close to an hour, and so we're not going super long. Uh,
Yeah.
we did our predictions. There was a winner, a 1 point winner.
Oh,
It's Adelia Chamberlain. She's the winner. She beat me by 1 goddamn point. I was so unhappy. I was so unhappy. Anyways, we got only 10 matches to cover for this
yeah.
coming week. Thank frigging goodness for
Yeah,
that.
thank goodness for that because this is way too many matches.
There's a lot. There's a lot. I don't think we're gonna have too many more like that. So let's start. Newcastle Spurs.
Spurs.
She goes Spurs. I'm gonna say a draw. That's at St. James Park too. Brentford gets Sheffield United. The mighty Sheffield United now.
I'm gonna say Brentford.
I'm gonna say draw because I don't think anyone's gonna score. Burnley at home to Brighton.
Brighton.
They're having so much trouble scoring since Matoma went down, but I think they have enough just to beat Burnley. Plus, Burnley
Yeah.
probably have a couple guys sent off knowing them. So I agree with you. City and Luton.
City, but I will laugh my ass off if Luton somehow gets something out of them.
It would be hilarious, but yes, City should win that game. Forest get Wolves, and this one is interesting.
That one I'm gonna say draw.
I think Wolves are just going to pull that one out. Even though it's Forest at home, they always should be. They always win at home. They always score off the fast break. So we'll see. Bournemouth at home to that weird United club.
United.
I'm going to go with Bournemouth at home. Rebound after that loss against Luton. Liverpool get a free square. They get Crystal Palace
Yeah, Liverpool.
at home.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're not losing at Anfield again this year. That's for sure.
they'll make sure of that. So West Ham, Fulham, London Derby, the one that does anyone care?
No, no one cares. And West Ham.
Fulham was looking good for a little bit, and then the goals dried up. I'm going to say West Ham as well.
Yeah,
I think David Moyes is going to be employed after next week as well.
I think he
Uh,
will be.
you guys have a toughest match of the top three in Villa, but you're finding a club that may not be informed. But Ollie Watkins is back.
Ollie Watkins is back. I'm still gonna go with Arsenal.
The way you guys have been playing defensively, I'm going to go Arsenal as well. And you're at home. There's just always something
Yep.
about being at home. Here's a toss up: Chelsea and Everton, and I mean that in the saddest way possible.
Yeah, it should still be Chelsea at home. You
Yeah,
guys can't beat Everton at home. I mean,
I think you can clip that out. Clip that out and play it next week. You guys can't beat. You guys
I
can't
said
beat Everton at home.
if you guys can't beat Everton at home,
Yeah,
that's beyond sad. So
terrible, terrible. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going Chelsea as well because life isn't fair to me when it comes to football. I'm just kidding. I had a pretty good run. Okay, but that's it. Our predictions done. Full 2 weeks of matches done. Adelia, thank
oh, thank God.
goodness.
Yeah.
I enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I love watching football. I love talking about it and stuff like that too. But it's a lot of matches. It's a lot of matches.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And when you have lives like you and I do that get busy this time of year, then it's definitely hard to follow along all of the 20 games that occurred.
I had to do a whole bunch of this work at work, which is all right. It's
I
fun.
had to watch a lot of these games while I was at work. So,
Perfect. So are
yeah.
you. Okay.
All
Uh,
right.
all right. Well, I'm just going to tell people that if you want to hear from Adelia and I more, you can follow us over on our entertainment network, the Let's Get Ready Network. We do the Rewatchers Council every Thursday. If the week of this recording, we will be airing Reptile Boy. It's Thursday, and you'll be able to watch it forever and ever after that on the Let's Get Ready Network. So if you can't watch Thursday, watch it anytime. I love talking about Buffy, having so much fun talking about it with Adelia. We'll have some special guests coming up and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, so Reptile Boy this week. Let's Get Ready Network after Snark this weekend. Birthday stream for the handsomest man on this particular program right now. So what else do we got going on? The Doom thing, the Star Wars thing, video games. That's all coming back soon when I'm out of the big white void base. Because right now I'm barely hanging on internet-wise. Anyways, Adelia, how about you?
As Snark said, you can find us on the Rewatchers Council. It's Thursdays, 3 p.m. Pacific over on the Entertainment Channel. There's a link to that channel in the description of this episode.
Yes,
Do check it out. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, we'll be back here next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific for starting 11. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you next time.